Oh my gosh, it worked.
Oh, me, no,
My
no.
God,
No.
we're in. We slid right in. Spinelli's password worked. All right, he broke down
Right.
security. He's led us in the back door of General Hospital into the student wing of General Hospital where the new doctors learn how to do their thing.
Oh, or like Monica's place, huh? Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Like the section of the cardiac wing where the new cardiologists learn how to listen to your heart the right way. Well, here we are, sliding in the back door, going up to the 10th floor on the service elevator.
Yeah. There's a hidden, do we all have the energy to truck up 10 flights?
We're going through the secret tunnels that link Salem University Hospital to General Hospital.
Yeah. Underground tunnel.
Oh yes, there's nothing like underground tunnels, and there's so many to find, not only in Port Charles but also in Salem.
Compliments of Stefano DiMera and Helena Cassadine.
Yeah. Whoever installed them, because I don't know, is Spoon Island older than the Cassadines? Because I remember reading some stuff about Windermere and such, but I just didn't know if it was connected to the Cassadines. So, I don't know. Something to dive into at some point.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're in the service elevator, which means that nobody's here for us to say hello to.
Now, yeah. Can't pile on in, huh?
Nope.
Gotta have a work badge.
Yeah, you do. You gotta be able to swipe in and unlock everything. Anyway, hey everybody, we're here to talk about some soaps. We're on a little bit early because Mom's not going to be available tomorrow morning. She can be out and about doing her thing, being a grandma.
Yeah. My grandson made the All-Star team. And for whatever reason, someone decided to book that for Father's Day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that it's illogical exactly, because what better way to spend your day than out on the ball field with your kid?
Yeah.
Or your grandkid, or your nephew, or your foster child. I don't know exactly what you got going on in your
But
life.
you're missing the family barbecue.
Well, you can come back for the barbecue at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it makes sense. I don't have a problem with it.
So that's what's happening tomorrow, though. I'm just not available because of that All-Star game, and it's important I go to that.
Yeah, so we're going to sneak in here.
I want to go to that.
We're going to talk some soaps right now. We're going to talk about the funeral of John Black. We're going to talk about the custody case over on General Hospital. We're going to discuss a couple of topics, and then get on with our merry way. I may or may not be back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at our regular time, probably hanging out with Professor Angela. We're hoping for that. So, she said yes, but also she's a busy lady. She's a media, the conglomerate mogul.
Yeah, she is.
With just all kinds of activities going on. So, we are her primary stop. But if something comes along that takes her to Paris, then she'll choose that. Is what I'm saying. Anyway, Ma, how you feeling? You feeling all right after all of this? We're in front of the chalkboard. All right, we're hanging out on Days of Our Lives right now. We're going to talk about John Black, funeral of John Black, legendary soap character. We have said goodbye to. We've had a long time to say goodbye to Drake Hogestyn.
Yep.
But now we're saying goodbye to John.
Yes. And from what I understand, when we kind of all know that was being filmed right around, that about the same time that Drake actually passed away.
Yeah.
Just happened to be. But from what I understand, Drake had a lot to say about how they handled the death of John Black.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because people,
Yes.
people have opinions out there in the world.
Absolutely, people have opinions. People have opinions, and they spent a solid 4 days on it.
They sure did. I'm actually surprised that they didn't do 5 days. They had this Friday full of other stories, and Philip and Pillows and Sarah and Maggie and all of this stuff. And I was a little surprised that we didn't get 5 days of it. But
we got that crazy Xander, violent Xander.
I mean, this must be the Xander that we've always been heard about,
All heard about, yeah.
Yeah.
And that stinking old EJ came out of came out of the sewer too.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. He's like, I'm going to own this hospital.
He decided, well, I guess it's safe to go to the square now.
Oh my gosh. What are they going to do? Shoot me again?
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So anyway, it was a beautiful funeral though. It was wonderful. It was amazing. It was gorgeous. It steeped in history.
Absolutely.
With flowers and stories and flashbacks and anecdotes. And freaking Eric Martzoff up there basically telling a real story. Flying off the cuff. I don't know if any of that was scripted. You know how he was like, you wanted to laugh today, right, Tink? You know, like his whole eyebrow speech, right? And then everyone was chuckling at it, and he said, you wanted to laugh today, right, Tink? And all that sort of stuff. And just the way that, I don't know, man, it was just not a performance.
Gosh,
I don't even know if that thing was scripted, or if they just went, hey, Eric, get up there and speak.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was not just like, um, here's an outline.
Just go.
Go.
Talk about his eyebrow.
Yeah. And I can't imagine that he couldn't just do that. And no, it was so obvious that they were having a funeral for, of course, the character, but they were having a funeral for Drake that we were invited to.
Yeah, it was for all of us.
It was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I felt that very much.
So how do you feel about Bo and Hope pretty much only being here for a week, though? You know, they're
So
skipping town next week already.
Are they really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
See, I didn't know that. I thought maybe Bo and Hope would say, yeah, let's be in Black Patch.
I mean, maybe that will be the plan eventually down the line. But as it stands right now, I guess they're going to go hop on that boat or something.
Yeah.
They have a boat, something about sailing around the world. Something that's them.
Oh, yeah, because they've done it before. And they're gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I guess that might be what's happening, what's going down. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting because it was so tied into waking up Bo, but then we don't have the long-term story with him afterwards. So
Yeah, it's a short, um, I don't know, consolation prize, I
reward.
guess. Yeah.
Because like the whole, I mean, it was baked into the whole reason why John was in the situation he was in is because they were going to wake up Bo. So great.
Yeah.
Now Bo's awake, but now the character's pretty much in the same position he was when he was in a coma. We don't see him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like a reward that didn't last long enough.
No, it sure didn't. It sure did.
So hopefully they're able to work something out and he's able to come back full time, because I know that Peter Reckle has been like vocal on the internet and stuff, being like, I love Days of Our Lives, I want to come back. And people are annoyed because he said the opposite before in the past, but he's also 70. He's had a long time to say a lot of different things.
Sure. Sure.
I also heard. Yeah.
Sometimes when you've stepped away for a while, you can really like reflect on the good stuff that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you have a desire to return.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where he's at.
That's exactly what it is. You get to a point in your life and you're like, I know where home is.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
maybe, you know what? Or maybe he needs some money.
He's like, Social Security's not cutting it this month. I need to go into the office. I really got to make a couple of bucks here.
And since he is over 70 years old, it doesn't matter how much he makes. He can make as much as he wants and still get his full Social Security check. Good for him.
Good work, Peter Reckle. You got to figure it out, man. That's why you weren't doing nothing. That's why you weren't doing nothing for the last couple of years. You didn't want to step on that Social Security check.
I have really enjoyed Bo and Hope, even though I don't have a 30-year love affair with them, on my TV screen.
No, but they're so smooth and practiced together. It's obvious why they're a super couple.
Oh yeah, Brady and Funny Face. I'm already digging.
Fancy Face, I think it is.
That's right, Fancy Face.
I don't know if Hope would appreciate being called Funny Face. I take the Funny Face to be my
Fancy
wife.
Face. I misspoke. Fancy Face.
You just want a pancake. That's what it is. You just want a pancake. You just want to go to IHOP. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Kaiwan. What's going on, y'all? Billy. Hello,
Hi,
Billy. Hey, people are starting to find us.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because we snuck into the back door.
Mm-hmm. That service elevator.
Mm-hmm. It's rickety. I feel a little unsafe. So ultimately, yeah, it's nice to see Bo and Hope. There's a lot of history there, and those two actors, like I said, are so well practiced with one another that you can really you can fall right into it and go for the ride, as short as it might be. And also it also did give us the chance to get like the Bo perspective on things. If he was in a coma, he wouldn't have been able to show up to the funeral and eulogize in memory and be 6 hours awake and do shots with his friends and all sorts of different things. Because, Bo Brady is always going to be...
Of course, I know it's a soap opera, and I'm like, you just come out of coma. I don't think alcohol is the right thing for your kidneys and liver this week.
Bo Brady's always going to be a frat boy at heart, I think is what it is.
Yes,
So...
And I realize it is a soap opera, you guys.
Oh, no. It's shots for the memory of the man. Mm-hmm. I like that. I mean, I think that they did a great job, too, when it came to, like, dividing the content. Because, days were certainly dedicated to different things. Whether it be gearing up for the funeral or then, like, focusing on just the kids. Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids associated with John Black. Whether or not they're actually blood related to him or not, he actually doesn't have that many that are actually his.
No, his two children are Belle and Brady, right?
Belle, Brady, and Paul, so he's got three.
Belle, Brady, and Paul are his.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jeannie hasn't watched Friday yet.
Carrie and Eric and Sammy are not his.
Not biologically, but for it was a long. He played Roman for a long time. They thought he was Roman until what's his face, Wayne Northrop or whatever was like, I'm poor or something. I don't know what his recent comeback was. I'm being mean. But he came back, and they're like, you can be Roman again. We'll figure it out and kick John Black back into the existence. Mm-hmm. So he had a good long time. And then also, I guess the transition from being Roman to John was a big change for Eric and Sammy as well. Mm-hmm. Like that's when they aged up and started to have morals or problems.
Yeah, and that's when Sammy started like acting out,
having issues,
crazy.
Yeah, being super crazy. It's all right, Jeannie.
I guess she gave John a real run for his money back in the day.
Yeah. Enough to have right in. And then don't worry, folks. If you missed Sammy's presence for this, all you got to do is just wait a little bit. The scheduling just didn't work for Allison Sweeney. Mm-hmm. The scheduling just didn't work for Allison Sweeney when it comes to appearing here, but she will be back in short form to give us Sammy's perspective on the passing of John from her own mouth.
So she should be showing up pretty soon then.
Yeah, she'll be showing up again here pretty soon, coming back into Salem. I guess after the surgery of her kid goes off without a hitch, and they're on their way to being healed.
Yeah, Cindy had a little...
Falling in the airport.
Thing, huh?
Yeah, falling down in the airport.
Yeah.
So Jeannie didn't watch Friday, but that's okay, Jeannie. You don't have to worry about it. The funeral was over on Friday, so we're not really going to talk too much about it.
No.
But so Sammy's coming back in the next couple of weeks. We're going to get her perspective in her own mouth, her own reaction. And I like it. I liked her. I liked her coming back. I want her to be back for a month. Have her come back for 4 weeks rather than 4 days.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Just stay long enough to stir the pot, not just be offensive.
Well, I mean, she stirred the pot for poor poor Jada and Rafe.
Yeah, she did.
She was the final nail in that coffin.
Yeah, she was.
So we'll see which sort of damage she has this time around. Or maybe she'll be an angel of mercy and be like, you know what, Belle? You can have this jerk, after all. You know what? Go ahead. Dive right in. Who am I to deny you the magic that is EJ?
Yeah. Actually, she can be a giver and a rotten sister at the same time.
At the same time. Yeah, all right. Listen, I've been trying to...
That is not a good gift. That EJ is not worth having.
No, I've been trying so long to get you to steer clear from this eventual heartbreak, but if you want it that bad, let me not be in your way.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, all that to say, Allison Sweeney coming back in the next couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it. I like her. I want to know what she has to say. It's going to be good. It's going to be emotional. It's going to make us all cry in our cars once again.
Yeah.
And she also, it was interesting because Allison Sweeney made a statement about it because people were having things to say. Well, where's Sammy? How come she was just back? Why didn't they just wait for now? And she said, well, I'm a busy lady, all right? Give me a break. I'm a human. And she also said that it also reflects kind of like grief in real life. Not everybody's able to come together at the same time. Not everything is just done because we all had something to say at the funeral, and then by Friday, we've all moved on to the next segment of our lives. It's more realistic this way.
It actually is. Not everybody can be everywhere all the time.
No, actually, there was a number of people that just couldn't make it, whether they were in Johannesburg or at the hospital.
And actually on Friday's show, they led us to believe that a lot more people were actually there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were. And it's days of our lives. So, yeah. So they led us to believe that a lot more people were there. They led us to believe that Maggie and Sarah were there.
Yeah. Yeah, we just didn't get to see.
They just weren't in that group
that we got to see on screen. They weren't sitting at the front. They were more rows back.
Yes, or more to the right or whatever.
But it's smart. It's smart to do that, because then you can have all of the characters reflect in their own way, in their own scenes, and you don't have to pay everybody all at once and get the crew and the lighting and the scene and such a thing. Plus, space has to be limited. I don't even know if they have a set that's big enough other than Horton Town Square to accommodate the entire cast.
And I would imagine they wouldn't. And I also would imagine that the Horton Square stays up, just like the nurse station does.
I would think so, too. I would be very surprised if they took that thing down.
Yep.
Super surprised.
Super surprised.
Which is why I really want to go there. So badly.
Have they ever done a studio tour?
I don't have any details on that.
Over all these years, they probably have.
I'm sure they have at some point in their 60-year run. I know that there is like a super fan or two who made friends with actors from conventions and whatnot, and happened to be in town at the same time, and so was working and shooting at the same time. And hey, why don't you just come on down? I know that's happened on occasion.
Lucky fans.
Yeah, lucky fans. But any sort of like organized thing where you buy a ticket and there's a tour guide and they have mannequins set up with old-timey costumes and there's Jane Elliott's Emmy and all that. I don't know if they've gone to that extent.
Why not, huh?
I'm also thinking too, like that's an expense. I would imagine that the convention had to foot most of that bill.
I would think so.
That's why those tickets were so dang expensive.
Yeah, those tickets were so dang expensive, but I got the impression that the last time they didn't see the same kind of profit margin, and that's why the convention has not been announced since.
Those last two were bad.
Well, I thought the last one was.
Well, I mean, they were poorly attended, is what I should say. They weren't bad. They were fun conventions.
They were great conventions.
Yeah. And can you imagine, though, Ma, because it took so long to get, like, the Cynthia Watros autograph. Can you imagine if that thing was packed full of people?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it was a sold-out event?
She would have had to reel herself in a little bit.
They would have been like, you have to just sign and move on. Otherwise, you're going to be here for 3 days.
Or you're going to be here till midnight.
Yeah, listen, you have to go back to shoot on Monday. You can't just be here for the rest of your life. You need to... You need to finish. Jeannie says that she went on a Days set tour and a Passions set tour, but it was from an auction for charity, and she spent $300 on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Vinny from Suds in the Squared Circle Media is here. Hey, Vinny. Go to sudsmedia.com/Sudsy Awards or Sudsy Voting or something. Leave a link, Vinny. Go vote for the Sudsies. Those are coming up on August 1st, I think is the date.
Yep.
So, vote for your favorites now. Let them win. Mm-hmm. We went on the GH tour set tour, and that's it. But with that one day of Days, that first one that we went to, the day of Days, they had the fake Brady's Pub door.
I have a picture of me standing in front of it.
Yeah, me too. I have a picture of us standing in front of it. Mm-hmm. Hey, Brady's Pub. I want to go there for real life.
The last time they did Days where it wasn't out in the open like the first time, they didn't have the space to do that stuff.
Prayerfully, they do a better job this time because that construction is not over.
That's what you told me. My gosh, how long is that going to take? Good gravy.
They're working on the whole thing. There's a whole section there. So I don't even know when the next day of Days is. So I don't know.
Well, Yeah, me either. No, last year it was in October.
I mean, it'll probably be around the same time again.
Wasn't it in October?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeannie says she wants to do the GH1, but she's doubtful. I mean, I don't know when the next one would even be. The set tour, that is.
Because it seems like General Hospital and Creation are broke up right now.
Yeah, Creation's just like, you're not worth it. And then
But it's not that Creation is defunct, though. It's still a thing.
I guess the Day Players are going to be in San Diego in 2 weeks.
Really?
Oh yes, oh yes.
You gonna go?
She's going to try. We are going to go to the Day Players
We sure are.
in August, early August, late July.
We will be at the Day Players on August 1st.
August 1st, Day Players. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. That's so exciting. We're going to be there partying once again.
Yep.
Hopefully all of our friends are going to show up.
Hopefully.
Partying with the Day Players. It's at a General Hospital event, not a Days of Our Lives event. So I guess that's the benefit of having Wally Kurth.
Well, 2 out of the 4 have been on General Hospital or are on General Hospital.
And maybe it's a suggestion that maybe 2 out of the 4 are all going to be on General Hospital again very soon.
Well, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, maybe we'll get the tea. We'll get the scoop.
Well, actually, when it comes to Brandon, I don't care if he comes back and he's Stefan on days, or he comes back and he's Johnny on General Hospital, or he comes back as somebody completely different on either show.
He just shows up in Young and the Restless.
I miss Brandon. I think he's a good actor. It seems to come across on the screen that he enjoys his craft so much.
What if
I just miss Brandon.
What if he stumbles into Fairmont Crest?
Wouldn't that be nutty?
That'd be so cool. Let's do it. Let's send everybody to Fairmont Crest. Why not? Let's just open up all the gates. Let everybody ride on in.
Right on in. Go to the country club. Get yourself some eggs Benedict.
You know how we're going to Orphe Jeans. You know how last week you had said that there was no stopping Paul, a.k.a. Christopher Sean, from crying?
Yes.
The same was, it was this week too, and I could not stop thinking about it.
I mean, yes. It was like...
His eyes were about to fall out of his head by the end of it, Ma.
His eyes were so bloodshot.
Red. They really needed to get him some Visine or something. Like
yes,
I just felt so bad for the man.
He needed get the red out so bad, didn't he?
Yeah, it's so interesting because Christopher Sean, who plays Paul, wasn't on the show for very long. It was a handful of years in that, and then he came off and on, and he did Beyond Salem, and he did a sprinkle of story here, but he hasn't been a main player since his initial run. But apparently, the relationship that he had with Drake Hogestyn was very important to him. Like, extremely important to him.
I think, he probably had just like an instant bond to Drake. That's the impression I get.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you had just you instantly loved the character of John, and you instantly had a connection to Drake as well.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
You just said, man, there's just something about that. You had an instant kinship with him.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't even have an opportunity to be his friend.
No.
Can you imagine how this kid feels? Because I think he had an instant bond, and probably really did look up to him professionally and personally very much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He probably, as just an individual, is a crier.
Yeah.
By nature.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Somebody who just lets it out.
Someone just lets it out.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated it so much.
Yeah.
And I thought the things he said at the funeral, all the baseball references,
mm-hmm.
they are not wasted on me.
Mm-hmm.
We are such a baseball family, and I have such a history with baseball,
mm-hmm.
and how much it really can be a building block for your family.
And mean something to people.
It can mean something.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So all those references,
mm-hmm.
And everything he said, oh my gosh, I completely understood.
And Paul, the character, popped the microphone. I'm popping my peas over here, folks. Sorry for that. Paul actually, the character of Paul is a baseball player, or had been. Like, that was his introduction. Was he was a star baseball player who came to Salem because he had a shoulder surgery or something.
Wow.
He was a closeted baseball player who had a relationship in the past at some point that was a secret with someone. I don't remember who.
Okay. Not Andrew.
I don't think it was Andrew. Is there a Will? Is there a gay Will?
There's Will and Sonny, yes.
Okay, then I think it was Will. I think he had a previous relationship with Will off screen. Blah blah blah. Introduced this character as my secret boyfriend because I was in the closet and just nobody ever knew. Mm-hmm. And now I'm a star ball player. So drama, fallout, love, romance, whatever it is that storyline turned out to be, and parental revelations.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he was a baseball player, and I guess that was something that he spoke to as the character Bond. And listen, I don't know Christopher Sean from Another Man on the Street, but the way that he performed it made me think that they bonded over baseball in real life too.
Absolutely. My gosh, I think it was just so blended. Like I said, I feel like it was a funeral for Drake / John that the audience could attend. Mm-hmm. And it was so real.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the actors...
It was real.
I feel like the actors got to say what it is that they wanted to talk about. Whatever it is that their perfect blend between real screen, or what is it, real and real, R-E-E-L and R-E-A-L, whatever blend between that they could achieve or that they wanted to go up and speak to, then they got written for that or free reign to say it in character or however it is that it went down. Because it also seemed like mostly this eyebrow thing with Eric Marstoff, like honestly, because it was just right up that dude's alley. Not just Brady, but that dude.
Yeah.
I can imagine him saying that stuff in an interview with Entertainment Tonight, talking about the performance of the eyebrow.
Yeah, exactly.
And what the different eyebrows mean. It sounds like it was a joke. Something developed backstage. Like, what eyebrow are you going to bring out this time, Drake?
Exactly. It was just, the line was very muddled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very muddled.
That's what makes it so real for us.
Yep.
It was perfect. I really can't think of any way they could have done it better. When it comes to this funeral itself, you can have commentary left and right when it comes to the event of the demise, how they decided to have him go out. That might be debated forever. But when it comes to the execution of this funeral and the fact that they had a piece of pottery up there rather than a casket, really goes to show that yes, folks, we're not going to recast. We're not going to figure this out. This is as real as it's going to get here in Salem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Oh. And that Deidre, she ripped my heart out with. I just ripped my heart out with her.
She just went up there and read a poem. I guess it was a poem that they had shared at one of their weddings. Mm-hmm. And then the flower thing. Oh.
I thought the flower thing was beautiful.
Yeah, and they all had something to say. And then, oh my gosh, this whole Carrie thing too is it's wild to me to a degree. I don't know if I just have no respect for yesteryear or whatever it is, but the fact that Carrie is almost more John and Marlena's kid than Roman's, like Roman and Anna's.
Yeah.
is sort of weird to me in this I don't know, it's perfectly soapy, but also at the same time not something that I would expect a soap storyline to necessarily be from back then. This is my stepkid. Her dad died. Her mom is crazy. So she's mine now.
It's of course I had to give him back because his parents got better, but it was Carrie is my Kenny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. You did take one of those kids. I totally forgot about the circumstances of that. He was just my brother for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I even remember in my my olden days watching Carrie's there living with Marlena at the time. Anna's around. Anna's married to Tony DiMera. But Carrie's living with Marlena. Why? I don't know. Somebody tell me, Jeannie, why? Why did Anna not raise Carrie? I want to know. Anna Demira came around a couple weeks ago, once again to say her piece. She gave Marlena a hug.
Yep. 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 Yep.
That was nice to see. And it's interesting, Ma.
Around them.
You didn't stick around. She just came through. But it's nice to see because it tickles my olden days heart because I was just watching that character. And then on top of that, too, it's interesting, Ma. It's interesting because Carrie's around, right? This Carrie character. She's been there. She's had scenes. She's been prominent. She's there at the funeral. She's done the flower thing. And I'm looking at this woman's face. And I have not watched Days of Our Lives in any sort of prominent way. But I recognize the hell out of her. And then I look at her IMDb and she does nothing that I would have seen or have some sort of soft memory of. And so I'm like, does her face just stand out to me from Soap Opera Digest? I don't understand.
It could very well be just that. Really. Vaguely familiar.
It just must be. She must have been in the publications a lot or something because she just looks like someone I know. And there's no reason for me.
Okay, another character that would be very vague to you, but you might recognize in the same way would be Melissa Reeves, who plays Jennifer. I recognize her, but not from the show, and she's not a boho kind of person.
But just from getting the Soap Digests and flipping through the pages.
Exactly. And I know that she's married to Scott Reeves, Stephen Lars.
Yeah. No, I don't have that with her, but I definitely had it with Carrie, and I don't know. It just must be from soap exposure.
Must be.
Hey,
I wonder how long that person's sticking around at all.
I don't know, because it's interesting, because it's like Days of Our Lives with their revolving door. They can do whatever they want. Melissa's
She's had
here.
a lot of scenes.
Melissa's
Hi,
here,
Melissa.
and Melissa says that Carrie Brady has been played by the same actress since the 90s. So,
They did a flashback last week where she looked to be about 13 or 14 years old in it. She was a young girl.
Then that's exactly why I'm seeing her on TV now going, I know that face. I mean, it's kind of like seeing Marlena, Like, I knew what Marlena looked like before I tuned into Days of Our Lives.
Exactly.
Not so much John, but I knew what Marlena looked like. Melissa says she's just popping in to leave a like and support us. So thank you so much for popping in, leaving a like, and supporting us. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Melissa.
Jeannie wasn't watching way back when, but she doesn't think that Anna wanted to be a mom. That must be the story. I'm sure she changed her mind at some point.
Oh. So, Matt, do you think that Shane's going to stick around?
Didn't he already leave?
Am I getting my Shane and Sean mixed up?
Well, are you talking about Sean? Are you talking about Shane Donovan?
I'm talking about Charles Shaughnessy.
Charles Shaughnessy himself. I don't know, because, okay, so we haven't had the wedding yet, so presumably he's going to stick around for at least that.
You would think so.
You would think that he would be there for his son's wedding. I would hope he is. I don't know if there's any sort of, like, extended... I know that there's Kat going, director, as she walks by in that I've known you for years way, or in that clandestine...
Like a boss to me.
She definitely is like, I'm an ISA agent the whole time kind of way. So here we are launching the secret life of Kat Green. She was a plant the whole time.
She might have been in plant the whole time. I'm thinking that maybe. I really am. There was absolutely a reason for her to do that. Absolutely a reason.
1000%.
And so there's going to be story going beyond because of that. Also, Kayla being so remorseful about losing the coin. There's something there too.
So there was the secret lilacs that got sent. There was the coin that went missing. There's the director thing. There's something afoot. Something is beginning to become afoot. And I guess it's good that they're giving Kat something to do, because Jeannie said in the chat a minute ago that it looks like Billy Flynn is going to be debuting on Young and the Restless on Monday.
Oh, so I don't know how far ahead they are. We know how far ahead Days is. So, it's kind of hard. It's hard to know.
It's hard to know exactly. But with him appearing on Young and the Restless, that is the best evidence that we have that he's not on the set of Days of Our Lives anymore.
Do you guys know what character he's going to play? Is he a recast, or is he a new person?
There's lots of speculation out there. I guess he's playing this dude named Dumas or something to begin with, or something. But then they speculate that he's actually this other guy. I don't know nothing.
Gosh, I don't see how I could add in some more soap opera time, really. But
And from what I understand, those
I
shows
have
aren't.
to start watching that mess.
If you want to, Ma, go ahead. Go ahead. From my understanding, the stories on Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful right now are just not interesting to people. Like genuinely, not just hateful people, but like regular people are like, "Come on, show! Like, what are you doing?"
So even the big shore lovers are going, "What are y'all doing?"
Yeah,
Oh,
but
well,
I'm only able to ever see it through the lens of the internet. So who knows what's real?
exactly.
Yeah, check it out for yourself and make your own opinion, I guess.
Or maybe I could just, you know what? I could watch it on Thursdays and Fridays and knows what's going on.
That's what you used to do with it anyway. Jeannie says that she thinks Young and the Restless is 5 to 6 weeks ahead. They've released some promotional pictures of him too, all dressed up in his Young and the Restless garb. He looks just the same.
Just the same.
Just the same. Not even a haircut.
Yeah. Well, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with Chadwick, though?
I don't know. Maybe he's gonna get thrown into a trunk. You know, Vivian shows up and
Maybe.
just takes him. He gets a job that he can't. That he just moves on from. You know, he just doesn't like the newspaper anymore, or he goes to Canada, or he hears that Abby is somewhere, and he's like, "I'm gonna go find her," because they've never found her body. Her body's gone.
That's true.
So
That's true.
maybe that'll be it. Oh my God, I found out where Abby
That's
might
true.
be, and then he goes to Germany, and we just don't ever see him
Well, I tell you one
till the
person that's
recast.
not, they're one person that's not on board for forgiving her at all. Man, Julie is holding a grudge on her big time. And, I think that under the circumstances, Kat didn't have a choice.
I mean, there was a lot of factors in there. You always have a choice.
Well, sure, you always have a choice, but you know what, though?
But
It
would
wasn't
she?
just her being Clive Weston evil.
But would she or her mother or her siblings be alive? Maybe not. But you always have a choice.
Exactly. Yes.
Michelle confirms that Billy Flynn is going to be on both shows through the new year.
Through the new year,
Yeah, that's a long time.
wow.
Well, it's what days of our life we get.
That means that he pretty much left one set and immediately went to the other.
Why take a break?
You know?
Why take a break?
That's what it seems like to me, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Well, we had Steve Burton on both shows for, gosh, a good 4 months, I think.
God, it was a little
His
while.
Harris,
that's for
his
sure.
Harris thing didn't wrap up for a bit.
No, and then Harris was just like, all right, I'm gone. I'm leaving town. Bye.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm out here.
Yep.
I'm
Pretty
gonna
much.
go on an investigation. All right, I pushed the button, Mom. We're transitioned. We're in the hospital now because Monique is here and she reminds us that there's two things we should be talking about.
What's that?
Well, the first thing we've already talked about for about half an hour. The next thing we're going to talk about is the court case between Willow and Michael. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh.
They have set the courtroom on fire.
It was good.
Willow was so convinced that she was going to win.
Oh, and so was that damn Drew, wasn't he?
They
He
were-
was so smug.
And it is wild, Maude, because I watched Friday, okay? It's the aftermath, you know? Mm-hmm. It's been known now what's going to happen, and Drew has some scenes. He's talking about it. He's talking about it with Marty Gray, trying to get another lawyer's perspective on things. And the way that he puts everything and talks about like the kids and the Willow and the plans and the this, that, and the other thing, it just made me sit there thinking, Drew also genuinely thought he was going to win.
He did.
Like, this wasn't him being like, oh, I'm going to position her to lose. Like, he thought that they were untouchable.
Absolutely. And he thought that breaking the heart of that little boy was going to cement it for him.
He was genuinely convinced. He was genuinely convinced that all of this was going to work. And that's an angle that I underconsidered. I thought he was being an intentional dick. But no, he was just an arrogant, I'm untouchable, of course I'm going to win, I'm Drew Quartermain asswipe.
And I guess he forgot about the things that he had done that the judge might consider.
And they call Lulu delusional. They call her Delulu?
Right.
No, no. Andrew Kane, he's delusional.
Yeah, he is.
Willow, she's delusional. To a point where her entire reality fractured. She started to blame Drew, and that made her, like, malfunction like a robot on Star Trek.
It did.
Like when Captain Kirk, like, gives them the Draco did I and the speech about logic, and then the robot implodes because it just can't compute. That's what we got
Yeah,
from Willow.
that's
She was
more
leaving it.
Lost in Space to me, where the robot goes whoop.
I mean, that's pretty much what, yeah. Like, it couldn't compute. Willow was like, I did everything that Drew told me to do when we lost. This doesn't compute. Drew is the perfect man. He told me we were going to win. He doesn't tell he does not lie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Boy, oh boy.
Scary. Hey, Daisy. Hey,
Congratulations, Kate, on a great performance.
It was a great performance. You watched in real time the actual fracturing of Willow, because at first she was like, she didn't understand.
She was like it was just like a surreal moment for her. Like it was just not sinking in, huh?
Did I hear that right? Let me just.
She says to Rick, "What happened? What's going on?" And he's like,
You lost.
Oh, we lost.
You lost, little lady.
And
You better pick it all up and move on out of town.
That already blew her fuse right there.
Oh yeah, and then she just had this meltdown of all meltdowns. Her entire, like, her reality splintered.
It did.
And yeah, you really got to give it to that Caitlin McMullen lady, because she just,
my goodness.
she carried her weight in that. And this, once again, like I had complimented the show before when it came to the Geo revelation and the fallout of that, and how emotionally invested we were in, and how we celebrated or felt sad or took sides. Same thing with this. This is such a well-earned conclusion, where that mental breakdown was the celebration that we were looking for as fans, as Willow got what was coming.
Yeah, but no one was. I didn't feel any satisfaction for that. I felt like I just felt sorry for her because she was stupid. She was stupid. I did feel sorry for her.
Wow, I'm surprised the
She
judge
was Donna Dade. I'm sorry, she was Donna Dade.
The judge laid down every reason.
Yeah.
Every reason. And none of that stuff was. The only thing that was Drew, truly, was the I'll take the kids if something happens document. Moving the kids here and there and this and that and da-da-da-da-da-da and choosing and having the affair, and everything outside the document was Willow.
It was Willow. Yes.
And the judge was totally right. Did not prioritize the emotional well-being of her children. Willow lost to those kids. Drew also interfered with the Germany thing, which would have rectified the situation. So, I mean, it's two major things.
And another thing that really cooked their goose too was them trying to show Michael as abandoning the children.
That's their spin.
That can't be any more further from the truth. And the judge saw through that.
Oh yeah, that was just legal spin. That was just legal spin.
Yeah. And the judge says, and you made no attempt to make sure the children could have a phone calls, Zoom, whatever it was, they have a continual relationship with their dad while he was under treatment. And we all know that they did, but it was facilitated by somebody different than her.
Yeah, Christina did that. I remember no scene where Willow was like, well, maybe I'll have the kids call Michael today. And Drew was like, don't. No, he should never talk to them. He's going to die. We never saw that.
Nope.
So that was Willow's choice. That's something that Willow did. Now, was she wrapped up in Drew's world? Sure. But as we learned on Friday, Drew might not have been as malicious about this as we had been assuming the whole time. He was just arrogant.
A controlling person.
Controlling, arrogant, of course I'm going to win, I'm Drew kind of guy. And not someone that was necessarily spinning somebody in a particular direction. Maliciously. This is that epic love story that he was talking about, Ma. This is the beginning of the turn of Drew and Willow, where we see the true heart that exists underneath.
I think there's going to be two things that finally, if it comes out, that will completely annihilate Drew. And that is if if Nina ever comes clean about them doing the deed in the Crimson Floor on a regular basis,
I think that secret has passed its expiration date.
maybe, huh? And when Willow finds out that he facilitated the fact that she could not see Michael in Germany.
That one has not passed its expiration date. Now that's a bad one. Monique wants to know, why didn't she ask Wiley if what she heard Drew say was true? But no, she believed
Exactly.
Drew over her own son. Because she believed Drew. Because she thought Michael was lying. She's not going to go confirm it with Wiley because Michael's obviously lying. Drew would never do that.
No, but I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes, she could have just asked. She could have just asked Wiley, and she should have. And even if she wasn't like trying to get some information out of the kid, she should have sat him down and counseled him.
Well, also at the same time, this is so planned.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. Asking Wiley about it would have revealed the secret, and then now the story can't play out the way that it's supposed to. Sometimes it's really that simple, Monique, because it just wasn't written that way. That's not how the story unfolded. In the real
But I
world,
understand why you think it's so obvious. Well, why didn't she just ask the dang
because
kid
in
right there?
because in the real world, it would have been obvious. In the real world, we would have turned to little Wiley and been like, "Wiley, did you hear that? Yeah, true." Like, boom. But that's the real world. That's the real world, not drama soap.
Well, maybe in the real world, now, now that Rick has firmly lost, maybe he'll just tell the truth. Hey, that he heard him too. And you know what was that was so dastardly of Drew, right? So dastardly. Even Rick thought, dang, you're a dick. Even Rick thought that.
Yeah, even Rick was like, what? Like it's just, he was having the conversation, he was hearing the thing, and then Drew walks off, and then afterward he realizes that Wiley is there, and then he's like, what? Fudge, this guy? He walks off. Man. Hey, so it's fun and it's interesting because we have all this lawyer stuff going on. We have this whole custody thing. We got lots of Rick, and then Marty blows back into town, and then Marco is having to defend his mom in any way that he can try to figure out from a distance because he still loves her because it's his mom. And then also Alexis is being summoned.
I can't stand you, but I don't want anything bad to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically is what he said, right?
Hey, Vita. Hey, Billy. Hey, Jill, Cat Lady Jones. Hi. And then also we have Alexis being summoned all across town to get her legal take on things. I mean, this cast is full of lawyers right now, Mom. We're lawyering it up big time.
They are lawyering it up big time.
And Sonny's gonna need one soon because the ADA is zeroing in on him.
I don't think AD is going to get what she wants because I think that Natalia is going to delete what's on the drive before she gives it to her, and then I think she's going to get on a very private jet and never be seen again.
And then Sonny crashes the plane.
Gosh, I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, she did all these things for my family, but I still can't trust her.
Well, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. That conversation in the car, both times, the conversation in the car was pretty much, I'm going to throw you under the bus unless you help me. But I care about you, and we're friends.
Yes, but you have to help me.
I'm going to throw you under the bus because I'm not going to jail for 5 years.
Yeah, so you have to do something about this.
You know what I would say? You keep your drunk ass out of the car and don't drive, okay?
Well, then she gives the laptop to the police, and now Sonny has to go to the slammer. So that's not good. That's not good. That's not good.
I do think that Eva LaRue is out the door.
Oh, she's done with the show. She's done, from my understanding. Natalia will be making an exit, probably next week. Spoiler alert, everybody, if you didn't see that coming.
Oh, it's pretty obvious, actually. I mean, Sonny and Jason are going to send her traveling.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to get rid of it.
There's not going to be an 11th hour final switch. Oh, this is actually a Natalia story after all. No, this is very clearly.
This is Eva LaRue leaving to do another project on Netflix.
They are ushering her to the elevator doors, is what they're doing. So they can close and we say goodbye.
And if they're lucky, it'll stop on the first floor and not go sideways to the Pine Barrens.
She could hope and count her lucky stars if she's able to make out of this alive. I have no idea. So, whatever. Goodbye, Natalia. Drew blackmailed the German nurse. Terrible. Drew
Yeah, he
did definitely do some interference. Drew did some bad things. Drew absolutely is majorly to blame over the
He,
loss of this, but not solely to blame.
not solely, no. Not
Willow
solely at all.
did not prioritize the emotional well-being of her
No,
children. She did
no,
not.
no, and she was led, that's for sure. She was led and she was stupid. I love the scene in the hospital where Nina is in Drew's face and Drew's wanting to go in there and bug her and stuff and wake her up and stuff. And she's trying to talk to him and she got real over. She got like pull you to the table mad there for a second. Listen. That's what she did. I loved it.
That's what Maxie needs to do. That's what Anna needs to do.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot of fractured and splintered relationships right now. If Gladys is, this is great. This is great observation from Jill. So thank you very much for the contribution. And I'm not being a sarcastic jerk. If Gladys is still alive, then Natalia is going to be okay.
Well, Gladys is a Corbin, though. You have to
Your
show
family, I can't take out family now, can I?
So Natalia's not family. Natalia's not the mother of one of his children. He has not seen her naked. So he might think that she's disposable. You know, I tell you what, though, if Natalia better listen to what Sonny says and do exactly as he instructs, or he will get rid of her.
Yeah, she needs to go away and stay gone.
Yep, she has to go away and stay gone. And ain't nobody going to miss her. Jens ain't going to miss her.
And her children will
Marco's
not.
not going to miss her.
Blaze will not.
No. And Blaze already said, stay away from the door.
You know, and it's sad to a degree because Blaze had the most long-term relationship with her out of the lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
She's
And
just
where his son is he's trying to send her to Belize.
Belize. At least she's going to be
With a
somewhere
whole
fabulous.
new identity and everything.
Yeah, a future. A completely different life for you, Natalia. You deserve it.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah, we're talking about soaps, Nikia. Hi, how's it going? Talking about General Hospital right now. David wonders if Natalia was wearing a wire. Oh gosh, now if she was,
I thought about that too.
if she was, she's definitely going to the Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
1,000%. Jason's gonna send her there in pieces.
Yeah.
Jason and his blues this week. Somebody had commented that years ago Carly told Jason to wear blue in court. And so the character still does to this day.
Absolutely. Carly will never steer you wrong in your clothing.
You're going to get
Steer you
black
wrong
or blue when it
in
comes to Jason. Billy wants to know, with Lucky gone, goodbye, Jonathan Jackson. Thanks for coming by for the cup of coffee. How about Jason and Liz again? Jason and Liz are never going to happen again. I'm sorry to break any sort of fans' hearts when it comes to hoping for a Jason and Liz future. Those characters are so far separated from one another when it comes to spheres of story and influence and connection and drive and motivation. And like they would have to move a mountain in order to really reunite Jason and Liz, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're more likely in the next few weeks to see some kind of interaction between Isaiah and Liz than you are Jason.
Especially since they're kind of all alone right now. People are speculating it's going to be Isaiah and Portia. Honestly, like, listen, it's so planned. Maybe stranger things have happened. But if I was anybody on this planet, and this is no offense to the beautiful Brooke Kerr, this is all about Portia, okay? If I was anybody on this planet, I would not want to touch Portia with a 10-foot pole, even if I was Curtis. Not with how she is, not with how she behaves, not with the just being at 10 all the time, not with walking into the room having to dodge a cell phone, and she's lying to her husband. That's not going to make me go, you know what I want to do? Clear this desk. You know, I don't see the motivation for good guy Isaiah to fall into that.
Not unless he has a rescuing thing going on. You know, he likes to rescue people. Maybe.
Maybe. But I mean, I don't think it would happen. If it were to happen, it's not going to be in 2 weeks. Like, it would have to get there in some story capacity. Like, it would not be earned, in my opinion, if it just happened one late night because she's extreme and he's lonely or whatever it is.
What do you think about that? I swear, Cody Scorpio.
Yeah, what about him? Apparently he's okay with just being a gigolo or something.
He's just a hustler. He's just
He
still
is.
a hustler. You know what? This is what I think going to happen with those two. I think Christina's plan is going to work. However, Cody's going to fall for Ava, and he's not going to want to screw over.
Poor Cody. Oh, poor Cody.
You know, Ava
But
has
go
effect
Ava.
on men, okay?
But go
She
Ava,
has an
'cause-
effect on men.
I mean, when she started hanging out with Rick, I'm like, wow, what an age-appropriate romance for Ava. But Ava's not going to stick around with age-appropriate for too long. She's going to find herself a young stallion.
I mean, come on, Jack. Morgan was her dude for a while.
I mean, and even then, Nicholas is much younger than her.
Yes, yes. I think Christina's plan is a good plan. It would work, especially because she's right. With Lucky out of the picture, she doesn't have to find anybody to try to, get the eye of Rick, because he's going to be sniffing at Liz' door all the time. Just like Laura said last week. Every time he leaves, there he is. Every time Lucky leaves the door, there he is. It's like he's got sitting across the street waiting for him to just leave.
You're totally right. He'll definitely be knocking on Elizabeth's door
He's
for
gonna
sure.
fall out of a tree, and everyone's gonna call him Calvin Klein. I mean, he's a peeper.
Oh my gosh, Back to the Future reference, everybody. Everybody take the Back to the Future reference. It was golden. Good work, Ma. Good work. I'm proud of you. Oh, that was good. Yeah. I mean, of course, Rick would be sniffing around Elizabeth's house if Ava were to turn her focus to Cody, leaving poor Molly
Totally.
flapping in the wind. She finds out he's doing this for money. And it's like, this is illegal, Cody. I'm an 88. Don't tell me that.
But that's what I do think Christina's plan could possibly work.
You haven't learned anything, have you?
But exactly. But I think Cody's gonna fall for Ava,
Well,
and he's not gonna want to screw over.
Sure, let's do that. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? I like Cody. I like Josh Kelly. I enjoy him on the show.
And the scene where he said, I see a dude with snakes coming out of his eyeballs." Well, when they backed up from the photo, I saw it too. There's a dude with snakes coming out of his eyeballs.
It was just
was
Josh Kelly
hilarious.
commenting on it. He's like, what does this look like
loved
to you?
it.
Oh my gosh. All right. We got like a lightning round of possibilities here when it comes to future soap couples. Okay.
Okay.
Liz and Rick. Maybe not. But then, there also seems to be a soft place in Elizabeth's heart for Rick. Like, even though he's a vile person, she still seems to be like, oh, Rick, let's go find a Christmas tree.
Well, they were married at one time.
Yeah.
They were married, and Elizabeth was pregnant by Rick and lost the baby. So they've had good times and bad times together. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to see Liz and Rick would be a little boring.
I think that would be not a good fun round for the future.
No.
Let's see here. Marco and Sonny, and I don't see a Marco and Sonny. Come on now. Let's see. Liz and Cody. Not now.
No, I think there's a better possibility for Cody and Lulu than Liz and Cody.
Like, truly, I don't really know what's going on with Cody, because that reminds me of Liz and Cody, and that makes me think of Cody and Molly, which is the next thing that Jeannie says. But then let's not also forget that we had, Cody and, shoot. Oh, no. It was just in my brain, and then it fell out.
Well, we had this Cody and Sasha, and then they turned out to be cousins.
Well, they turned out to be cousins. But there was somebody very recently where we're like, well, there's your trio. There's your love triangle. Who's Cody going to be with, Molly or this other person? I don't remember who the other person is anymore. There we go. Okay, Desi. Liz and Vaughn. Perfect. Just put those off in the corner. Liz and Vaughn.
off the
Figured it
corner.
out. Figured it out.
Well, I think there's, and I hope this happens, because I love the idea. I think it would be comedy and it would be fun to watch. I think we need a Marty and Tracy. We
Oh,
need
absolutely.
a Marty and Tracy. We
100%.
need Marty and Tracy. And, for part of the reason, I think it would be super fun to watch. And I want Michael Knight on the show. I love Michael Knight. I have since the 70s. I just want Michael Knight on the show.
Yeah, yeah. I want him on the show. I want him to stick around. I want him to hang out with Jane Elliott all the time and snipe
Yes.
because it's fun.
Oh, and also, I want to see in the next couple of weeks. I want Jason needs a whoop on Drew again.
Their blue shirts need to be bloodied.
Throw him in the foyer again like you did.
Need to walk out of that room with purple shirts.
No, I mean like a Xander Phillip beatdown.
Oh my gosh, now that's extreme. I've been in a medically induced coma for a week as my brain swelling goes down. Let's see, Liz and Dante. Now that's a pairing I didn't consider. They're not even related.
Oh, you know what, Matt? Aiden is gonna go off into the sunset.
Aiden,
with
yeah.
his dad for the summer.
He can come back. He's going to come back 22.
He's gonna come back a different dude, I think, too.
Oh, definitely. You bring back that. Bring back that other kid.
Yeah.
Why not de-ageify him? He went overseas and got cured of his soreness. From what I heard from some rumblings out there and people who know, not us, don't come here for the news. Part of the reason why they recast wasn't necessarily because they didn't dig the kid that was playing him before, but because he was turning out to be going to be obviously way taller than Jonathan Jackson, who's a shrimp.
Yeah.
And they went, this isn't the visual we want. And at the time, they thought they were going to have Jonathan Jackson for a lot longer.
Yeah, it sounds to me like Jonathan they had some creative differences, and Jonathan decided asked to get out of it. And I tell you, you guys, his scene with his mom.
Yeah.
I thought Jeannie Francis did a pretty good job with it.
Mm-hmm. You didn't think Jonathan Jackson
is
did.
100 times better actor than that.
Yeah.
His last scene with Jeannie was a dial-in.
Yeah, he was ready to go. He already had one foot out the door.
He was ready to get the hell out of
Plane
Prospect.
ticket to Tennessee in the hand.
Yes.
Ready to go on.
My gosh. Jonathan, old Lucky, Jonathan Jackson from General Hospital Lucky, Jonathan Jackson on Nashville. Jonathan Jackson can bring emotion to a scene like that. And he chose not to.
Yeah.
Or he just, whatever.
I'm just bouncing out, Mom.
I don't know.
Sorry to disappoint you again, but I'm leaving. Goodbye.
But no, Jonathan Jackson is man. That scene could have been way better.
Yeah. Yeah, Jill said that we didn't get to see him sing at the Nurses' Well. I'm sure that they were just planning on having it next time. You know, we got to be smart about the dates and that sort of other thing. He did an interview with Soap Digest, and he said that his reason for leaving was that the commute between Tennessee and California was just, it wasn't going to work.
Well, I understand that it would be difficult. I do understand it would be difficult. Well, you're not driving the dang thing.
Yeah, he said that the time away from the family, doing the show, the travel, it wasn't going to work out long term like he had hoped that it would, and this, that, and the other thing.
And the storyline didn't give him a reason to keep trying.
That's really what it boils down to, because if he was creatively satisfied, he would have found a reason. Because here's the thing, folks. If you're passionate about something, your family understands, especially if it's your life's work. Being on TV and doing music and entertainment and that sort of thing, it's not like he hasn't missed long periods of time for projects or had to be filming in Canada or Los Angeles. It's not like he's not next year going to be doing a European tour with the cast of Nashville for an extended period of time. Like, all of these things are very real that take him away from home and require travel. So, don't come here for the news, we're opinion. We think that that's not the only reason.
Oh, and when Lucky first came back on, and he was captive and all that stuff, he played cards way too long, but the story was good.
Mm-hmm.
When he first came on, and after he came back, but they should have made him more adventurous in Port Charles. And they
Because that's
didn't.
what he did. That's what he was doing outside of Port Charles. So there's no reason why he couldn't and shouldn't have been sucked into Sidwell.
Exactly.
Or because he's in town too. But instead he was tending bar and covering for Christina. And that's
Yeah.
not having scenes with Jeannie Francis and not playing up the Spencer family and not doing Lulu stuff. Like Lulu had a whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up and everything. Revealed the secret. All that kind of stuff. Lucky wasn't around. It's not what he was there for.
No.
So,
And
whatever.
maybe they couldn't convince him that there was something just to be patient for.
Maybe.
Maybe they couldn't convince him.
Maybe. Maybe.
Or maybe they had been telling him to be patient for a while already.
Or maybe he was perfectly satisfied with everything that he was doing and he just missed his family.
Could be.
Maybe.
Could be. This is what I think. I think it's all parts.
Little column A, little column B. He would have found a way if this was a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. If he was on his way to an Emmy, you know?
Stuck around long enough for Steve Burton's wedding and then he hit the road.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's like, hey, go back to my people I married. David says that I don't. David agrees. They don't. He doesn't really believe that Jonathan Jackson was particularly happy. Yeah, whatever. Laura agrees that Lucky's return was a waste.
I was so looking forward to it. I really was. I wanted him to come back and he's sort of like he was somewhat Luke-like because he's a Rolling Stone, but the Luke-like stuff that Luke brought to Port Charles, and Lucky wasn't nothing like that.
No, he didn't do any of that stuff. The best thing,
Didn't do any
the
of
best
that
stuff that he was up to was oh, come on, Jill, blaming Frank Valentini. Sidetracked. Frank Valentini, let's go find his house, Ma.
I think they should have I don't know.
Any
Haunted
number
Star
of things.
2. The
Any
Haunted Star 2. Dock that
any
sucker. Put Lucky in there.
But put a deputy's badge on his chest, and because Anna's like, we need you, but you don't have to be a cop.
Exactly.
You know, something.
Or let Jack Brennan bring him into
WSB.
WSB.
Or he opens up Lucky's Lucky Investigations. Lucky's
Yes.
LLI. Lucky's Lucky Investigations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? You know what, Jill? It is all Frank's fault. You're right. You're right.
It's just unfortunate that I'm still glad I saw Jonathan Jackson's long.
It was wonderful to see him and Elizabeth back
It
together.
It was.
Best parts.
Yes.
Best parts. But goodbye, Jonathan Jackson. And I don't know, Ma. Like let's what else is there to say about poor crazy Willow, Ma? You know, I mean that's what we got on the cover. The cover is her screaming at Michael. Please, my
Begging
children,
him.
please.
Pleading and begging.
Within my children. But she's up there doing testimony, Ma. She's up there doing testimony, and she's like, "Oh, well, he went to work,
Yeah.
and he got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell in love with somebody else, and he can't handle it, and I want to go to Paris because I'm done with this. Let me off the stand."
And she was going to follow his butt to DC.
Oh, in a second. They were getting ready for that after this was over.
And Drew wants to still do that. And he's going to take Scout.
Yeah, we'll see. He's going to get wrapped up in a whole custody thing with Alexis, I guess.
I don't think
I just
Alexis
did
is going to
this.
try to get that baby.
I just did this. I'm not doing it again, you see. I'm not doing it
I
again.
do not.
Yes, Lucky could have ended up talking to Jack about a job at the WSB, sliding in, becoming the head of the WSB, you know, any number of different things.
Yeah, they could have done all kinds of things with Lucky. And for whatever reason, they didn't.
Nakia thinks that Willow's going to find out what Drew did and ultimately kill him.
Well, wouldn't that be something? I thought at first, but I know from previews this isn't true. for next week. But I thought at first, well, shit, they're gonna lock her in like she's Laura.
Yeah, she was sitting in the hospital looking like that. She got to
But she
figure it out.
was, when they first brought her in, she was kind of, very non-responsive. She barely answered Liz. Can I give you an ID and make, and then when Liz says they're gonna order, a psych eval for her, dumb Drew's like, why? What?
Because she needs
Did you
one.
just not see her brain fracture right in front of your face?
Listen, I'm still in control here, okay? This wasn't my idea. It has to be my idea to give her a psych eval. All right? There's nothing wrong with her. She just lost her children, don't you understand? We don't need an evaluation. We need her children back.
Yeah. And if Drew hadn't messed around when Willow went to Germany, they would have figured out a custody agreement.
Mm-hmm.
They were even going to figure out a custody agreement the morning of.
Yeah, before he said all that stuff to Wiley.
If he would have said that stuff to Wiley.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, he was preventing
Every
that.
time that they had some kind of close, any kind of understanding.
That's
And
why
it
he ain't
wasn't like-
going anywhere, Ma.
And it wasn't like Willow was going to jump out of bed and go jump back in Michael's.
No, and that's
He
why
was
he's
not.
not going anywhere. He's not going to take the kid and so she can be unified independent. That's not happening. He's just saying that. He's just saying that so Marty can say down the line that he was considering it. Everything is a lie. Everything is a con. Everything is to protect himself in the future.
I tell you what, Marty needs some money bad, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Boy, oh boy.
His wives took him to the ringer, just
I guess
in jail
so.
and stripped
Matt,
him of
I
all
love
of his
your
assets.
idea. I love your idea of having all the ex-wives be actors and actresses.
Characters, not even actors. Characters. One of them's already Blair. Why not make one of them? Why not make one of them Crystal?
Why not?
Why not make one of them? I even said freaking Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
Whatever. Mary Ryan.
Yeah.
Someone's like, she's dead, and I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, make one of them Dahlia.
Delia Ryan.
Maybe. Yeah, he was Ava's stepdad for a minute.
Oh, I know Ava Jerome, and I'm steering far clear from her. He's always going to be Colonel Sanders to me, okay? When there's a Marty Gray impression to be made, this one's going to be it. I don't care. Even if I ever see the man face to face one day, I'm going to go, I love your accent, Marty Gray.
Maybe, and maybe he's going to stick around for a little bit because General Hospital gave him a new headshot for the flip.
Ooh.
He had a headshot with a beard. Now his headshot is what he looks like now.
There was something. He did a thing. I don't know if it was just like a paparazzi quick catch up with Michael E. Knight thing or what it is. A sound bite. I don't think it was a full sit down, what's going on in your life interview, but something he said made it out there in the publications. I don't know how it got out because I don't think he does social media. That is so surrounding the point that I'm trying to make. It's crazy. Huh. Anyway, he said a big part of the reason why Marty hadn't been on and stuff was because of the whole writer's tumultuous existence, which we have gone away from in a big way. But I guess the ripples from that still kind of exist now because he had lost kind of the footing. And then they made these choices with Cyrus, which takes away one of his major scene partners that he had. And so there was just kind of some time where they needed to figure out what it is that was going to be happening for Marty. Mm-hmm. And when you're non-contracted like he is, they don't owe you screen time, and that costs them money, so they're not going to waste it. So they figured out what it is with Marty. He's broke now. Now he has a direction. He's trying this. He's consulting Drew. He's now has more of a reason to be more of a villainous lawyer. He doesn't have Valentine anymore either. There's a lot of things that you kind of needed to figure out. And with other returning characters very soon, who knows what may be in play? Maybe Marty knows something about it.
Well, I'm ready to watch it. That's for sure. I'm ready to watch it. Oh my gosh. So we're going to General Hospital Fan Club weekend, you guys.
Yes, we are.
For real. We bought tickets. It's
happening.
It's happening. And I even have my hotel accommodations already.
There's nothing going to stop us other than the act of God.
Oh, man. Michael E. Knight, you jump your ass into that kickoff party. I want to meet you so bad. And we don't know who's going to be at the kickoff party.
No, but it's going to be a good time. I think this is going to be a bigger party than the convention.
Oh, I hope so.
The conventions you sat on your hands and you watched. I think this is going to be a party, Ma. I think
Way
it'll be
more
a party.
interactive, I think.
I think it'll be a party.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hey, Patty. Patty's here. Hi, Patty. I don't have a sound maker right now, but hi, Patty. Hello, Patty. Thank you very much, Patty, for your contribution to the chat, Patty. Patty
Hey
says,
there.
Patty says, and I quote, I think John Black's funeral was beautiful. It was very well done. I loved the legacy sitting around the table afterward talking about John, and that was a great send-off. And that's actually, Patty, the picture that I used. I'm sure you saw, you just clicked on the video, That's the picture I used to represent Days of Our Lives this week. Was them all in Brady's pub doing the toast to John.
Yes. And I thought the interaction between Roman and Marlena was beautiful.
It was, I don't know if it was long overdue or long waited. It feels like it was. Like it was a conversation that they could only have once John was finally, like, totally out of the picture. Mm-hmm. Where they could really talk about, like, well, this huge thing happened, and now that he's gone and can't come back, if this was 30 years ago, this would be kind of a romantic reset for us. Mm-hmm. But that's not it now. We're too old.
Yeah.
And
Roman likes Kate. He loves Kate.
He's with Kate. It's fine. We're not going to get Marlena and Roman 3.0, not at this age.
I'm
really hoping we're going to get Marlena and Nobody Forever.
I don't think we're going to get our Marlena and anybody either. And I don't think we're going to get a story like Constantine and Maggie. I don't think they're ever going to make Marlena that vulnerable.
No. There's only one person that really lives and resides in the heart of Marlena Evans, and that will always be
ever
John Black.
Strawberry ever.
And plus, when you get to a certain age too, like if you were to lose your husband at 75, do you really have like an urge to get back out there? You might, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think people have an urge for companionship, but not that kind of companionship.
Maybe a friend, a good friend.
Yes.
Even if they're of the male persuasion.
Yes.
But not like I've fallen in, we're getting married. This is my new forever man. The love of my life, I finally found him. I'm not sure. And if that is you, then awesome. I'm not trying to diminish that if that happened to you.
Sure.
Not you, Mom. You're with my dad.
Yeah, but I think that, people that are older, sure, they can still find love.
Oh, yeah.
But
I just don't know what the drive is. Like, it's the drive. You have it or you don't.
For me, I don't think I would be interested.
I just got rid of that one. I'm going to pick up another?
Come on. I don't think I'd be interested in that kind of a relationship again.
There we go, Naki. I like it. Vicky's one of the
with Marlena as well, since it was such an epic love story. Mm-hmm. So epic. How could she would always be comparing, and that sucker would not measure up.
Oh yeah, and that's from Marlena, the fake person's point of view. From the audience's standpoint, how would we be able to accept anybody?
Exactly.
None of them would be able to do strawberries and whipped cream and stuff like Drake. Like I put on Twitter, and there wasn't a lot of
for a reason to hate that person every time.
It just isn't the same. I put on Twitter the question of what is it that made John Black such a special and unique soap opera character, and there wasn't a lot of response to it. So go follow us on social media and reply to us on Satan's platform or whatever it is you people call it. But reply to those statuses. But of the responses I got, one made perfect sense, and what made John Black so special was Drake Hogestyn. His unique charm, his unique performance, the 4 different eyebrows and more that he can give that mean different things. The levels that the character is able to achieve from being a loving, funny, humble family man to someone that's just gonna kick your ass until you tell me the truth. The range. And also when it comes to these flashbacks, I was sold time and time and time again that when it comes to John and Marlena, they were a romance novel in live action over and over again.
They were.
So many of those classic moments and the way that they cuddled and kissed and the shots and their hair and the wind and the this and that and the costumes were romance book covers.
Yes.
Again and again and again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so,
Just so good.
yeah, you're not. It's just something that is unique to the style of television that it is, and the length that it's been on, and the portrayers and who they are. It's one of those things that it's I don't know how to, like, because I didn't think about this before I started speaking, and I'm getting into like some deep emotional art here, folks. It's like you hear about two really famous actors who were once on Broadway or something, and you know them. It's like Robert Redford and
Barbara
freaking
Streisand.
Barbara Streisand live on Broadway, but you didn't see it on film. It wasn't recorded for TV, but they say they did. This didn't happen. I'm making it up. But say they did some sort of run of some sort of play in London, and they did that for 8 weeks, and it was them, and there's no film of it. They did it in 1963. People didn't have cameras and cell phones to leak the footage. Those are performances and moments and times and emotional feelings and beats that are unique because of where you were and who they were and what was going on that nobody else got to see. And that's kind of the thing when it comes to Drake and Deidre, John and Marlena. If you're a fan of soaps, you really got to see something really, really, really special for a long time. But if you're not a fan of soaps, you missed it entirely.
Yeah. Well, it's a special genre, and I think it had a special group of fans because of the genre.
Definitely. We're passionate people, folks. That's why we sit here every weekend to talk about it.
Yep, 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 yep.
Daisy had a huge crush on Drake when she was younger, and I think we all did. I don't know. And then David says that I know Amanda and Josh Seton will be at an event, and you know what, David? We know that they're going to be at an event too. You know why? Because we're going to be sitting there watching them.
Matthew and I have, this event is done very segmented. So Matthew and I did choose, of the different pairings of people that are together, and there's some single ones too, but we whittled it down to what we thought would be just the most, the most bang for a buck, really, and what we would enjoy the most.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100%. And so that's
So,
one of them.
So we have two pairings that we're going to, and one of them is Josh and Amanda.
Yes.
That's one of yes, we are going to that, and it's just the two of them. I don't know how many people have bought tickets, but I know that two people have.
It's just us. It's going to be us and them. We're going to go to
But
dinner.
we have 2 hours with Josh and Amanda. We also have 2 hours.
Time. Wow.
Yes, and we also have 2 hours with Ava and Nina.
Mara West and Cynthia Watros.
And we are so stinking happy. We've met Cynthia a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
And she absolutely loves engaging with fans.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's going to be
loves
great.
it.
It's going to be great.
And we've never had a chance to meet Maura or even see her.
No.
We have seen some of these folks that we didn't actually get to engage with, but we've never even seen her.
So, yeah, I mean, I've really got to put together a great outfit and stuff because this is going to be up close and personal.
It is.
Gonna make sure my beard is on point, my hair is cut. I can't let anything slide. I gotta look Emmy's ready.
We gotta look shiny and polished, matte and.
I gotta dye this beard.
I'm getting the purple put back in my hair like 2 days before I leave.
We're gonna return everything to its natural chestnut. That's what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna be a good time. We're looking forward to that. We're going to kickoffs and close downs and concerts and all sorts of stuff. So we're going to make it a great weekend. And of course, thank you very much to everybody's donations. Don't stop now. If you want to continue to contribute to the channel now, you can, and that can feed us. That can get us extras and bonuses and whatever the hell might show up during that weekend. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I don't know what to expect, but give me money so I can handle it.
But, we really, 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 really are grateful that you guys have supported us in this way.
Oh, absolutely.
So grateful for it. But what we've collected is about that much is what we really needed.
Yeah, so, give more. Thank you. We'll appreciate it and we'll love you forever. So you can do that through the Super Chat and Super Thank functions here on YouTube.
But
you can also...
I'm sorry.
No, go. No, you're talking.
And I know most of you are not going, but we're going to bring you content.
We are. We are. That's
We
the
are
whole
going to
point.
bring
That
you
was the whole point.
content.
That's why we
We're
wanted to
bringing
go.
you guys along with us. We promise.
Yeah. That's why we wanted to go, and that's why we asked you to help. And you still can. You super chat, super thanks functions here on the channel. You just click it, the little heart icon with the dollar bill inside, or the dollar bill. I don't know exactly what it looks like. Just go explore some. You can do that. And you can actually support us really greatly right now indirectly without emptying your wallet by encouraging your friends and family and social media accounts to just give us a follow, whether or not they like soaps, or they just enjoy mother and sons talking to each other about stuff, or they just think I'm cute. I don't know exactly what it is. But if you... Oh, thanks, Ma. You have to say that. You're required by law. I've seen the documents that's given to parents once they have a child.
No, if you look like a little orangutan, I'd say so.
Anyway, encourage them to give us a sub here on the YouTubes, because once we pass that one marker, we can have ads, and then YouTube will pay us pennies for your views, and then that's indirectly you're giving us your time, you're giving a little bit of attention to an ad here or there, and then that helps us.
Yes, and we're so close.
Yeah, so tell all just share it around, just tell people all this sort of stuff. Be like, hey, these guys are great. That Matt guy's a little quiet on a Saturday, but hey, whatever. Yeah, whatever. All right, folks. I mean, I turned the microphone way up, so hopefully everybody heard me nice and clear, and it's less echoey than it usually is, because I noticed in this new room I'm a little more echoey in the broadcast than I had been before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Lara's Team Brooklyn. So am I. Lulu should have kept her big mouth shut. I'm Team Brooklyn. Lulu should have kept her big mouth.
I'm Team Brooklyn too.
Is she gonna win like a suing and libel case? No, and that's 1,000% where Erica Slezak's gonna come in as Vicky, being like, listen, all of this is about my damn newspaper. Shut up.
Yeah, she's either gonna come in as Vicky Buchanan or Vicky Lord, whatever she wants to be today, and then or she's gonna be Monica's sister.
She can be
And
Nikki.
she's gonna take everybody's coconuts and gunk them together.
She can be Nikki. She can be Nikki. That's what she can be.
Well, she's gonna be Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is the altar of Vicky. So.
Mm-hmm. But she's gonna walk into town. She'll be like, Vicky Lord, here in Port Charles. It's been so long since I've been to General Hospital.
Well,
I'm Nikki now. Holy smokes,
Nikki.
David! You're always so generous and way too generous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Nikki was like, she was a bit of a hoe.
Well, we'll have to see who falls in the trap
altar
of
Nikki
her.
was kind of a hoe.
We'll have to see who falls in the trap of Nikki on General Hospital
That would
coming
be
up.
hilarious.
That would
They're
be
not
funny.
going to do that, but it would be funny.
What's this? Oh, my ex-wife is here. Oh no, Vicky Lord is it? Wait a minute. You Vicky or you Nikki? You Nikki. All right, Nikki.
Wouldn't that be funny?
We don't know if Monica. Does Monica have a sister? I don't know if she ever has a real sister or not. But that's something. That's something people have been saying. This is what Ma said. She wants her to be. She wants Erica
Well, I
Slezak
think
to
it
be
would
Monica's
be.
sister.
I just think on the screen it would be so believable.
But you're not going to get them together on screen, is the thing.
Well, I know, but it just would be so.
I
believable.
get it. I just feel like there's no reason for her to not.
But
be
I
Nikki.
do think that she's going to blow in town as Vicky Lord, Vicky Buchanan, just like Blair Kramer did.
Just like Blair did, just like Jackson Montgomery did. This isn't like I've inked a 3-year deal with General Hospital. It's already been announced as a short-term gig and all that sort of stuff. I think she's going to show up as Vicky.
Erica Slezak is she's not at an age where she wants to sign a contract. I can't imagine that.
Nah, part-timer. Big time
Part-timer.
part-timer. Now, if she wants to come in regularly, she can absolutely do that. Coming in and out. Absolutely.
Well,
That's what it is.
I would be all good with Blair coming in. Oh, you know what would be so juicy, Matt? If she came in and brought her little brother with her. Do you know who her little brother is?
I do not.
Todd Manning is her brother.
Come on, Franco. Come on back. Come on, we need a little Roger Howarth. We need a little Roger Howarth
Put that
back.
scar back on your cheek and bring your ass to Port Charles.
You know you miss him. You know you miss Todd Manning. You do. Well, folks, thanks for joining us. We're gonna hop off. We're gonna back into the Salem University Hospital elevator as we go back into the secret tunnels. That link General Hospital to Salem U.
It's
Bridging
like Willy Wonka's elevator, huh?
to up and out. Um, bridging General Hospital Port Charles in Salem, Illinois. Through the walls of networks like that movie Stay Tuned. With I was going to call him Jack Tripper. That's the character he played. That's the character he played. Anyway, Stay Tuned. Very funny movie. Go watch that. It's old, though. This episode of the 10th Floor Podcast, also known as our take on Drake and the Custody Quake,
Yep.
has been sponsored by David. Thank you very much, David, for your extremely generous super chat donation.
Thank you, David.
I look forward to the payout. And there's enough time before the event for me to actually get that money. So great timing. If you want to join in and be a sponsor, then I'm like, hey, this episode is sponsored by. You can do the same thing. And then also follow us on social medias and like this video and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment and all of that fun stuff. Ghostmans. Oh, yes.
Next Sunday, not tomorrow.
Right?
Not tomorrow because I can't, like I said. But next Sunday, I'll be back normal.
Yes.
I'll be back normal.
Yeah. And, check out the channel. I should be on at the regular time, 11 a.m. Pacific time with Angela, Professor Angela. Just to keep the content rolling at the regular time on Sunday so you guys have something to watch. So stay tuned for that. Hoping that's going to work. I'm sure it will. But I also want to give myself an out if it doesn't. So that is it, folks. Go spend some time with your family and swing for the fences. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next week together. And I'll see you tomorrow. Live right here on the 10th Floor Podcast channel. Bye.